Welcome back to the Bot Squad podcast. I am your host, Gene the Man 94, here to review WWE Monday Night Raw for January 11, 2016. Now, before the show, they were saying that this is to the day, the 23rd year that Raw has been on television. And that's just amazing. You know, I've been a WWE fan since about 2 or 3 years old. I can't really remember the exact age, but yeah, about 2 or 3 years old, and I'm about 22 now. So, you know, I've been watching wrestling for a long time, and it's just amazing that Raw has been on for 23 years. That is really incredible. But yeah, I'm here to review Monday Night Raw, so let's get on with the show. So we start off with the superstars standing at the top of the stage, and Stephanie and Vince come out. Yes, 20-minute authority promo. I already know what you're thinking. So they come out, you know, they're saying Royal Rumble's coming up. One of these superstars could possibly win the match. That's saying on top of the stage. Pretty much saying Roman's not going to win. One of these superstars will. So, you know, they're just calling out people. Maybe Dolph will win. Maybe New Day. You know, whatever. And the lights go out and the Wyatt family comes. And then Bray's standing on top of the announce table. And, you know, Braun Strowman, Luke Harper, and Eric Rowan are surrounding him. So he's back on his anybody but you, Roman. Anybody but you, Roman. Ain't lying to you, man. It's gonna be me. You know, his little gimmick. And then Roman Reigns comes out. Yeah, Roman Reigns comes out. Takes 30 minutes to walk down the damn steps and, you know, gets in the ring. And he asks Vince and Steph, so what happens if I win? What happens if I win the Royal Rumble and keep my championship? What happens? And they're like, yeah, you know, that's a possibility, but, you know, it's little to none that that's going to even happen. So Vince says, well, since you're this one versus all, we're going to put you in a one versus all match tonight, where it's going to be you versus half or third of the main roster. So at first I'm just like, so it's just going to be a third of the roster versus Roman Reigns, just all of them in a ring or whatever. But we find out later what happens. So yeah, so Vince says it could be anybody in the match, really. It could be Dean Ambrose, it could be anybody. But he's like, no, probably not Dean Ambrose because he's in the first match of the night. And Dean is like, wait, I am? And then Sheamus attacks him. Sheamus casually walks to the ring, so it's going to be Dean Ambrose versus Sheamus in the first match. So, Sheamus already has the upper hand here because he attacked Dean Ambrose, and Dean Ambrose wasn't expecting it. So, of course, Sheamus is beating the hell out of him to start the match off. He's selling the fact that he just got his ass beat on the fucking ramp. So, yep, we got this match going on, and it gets to a point where Sheamus tries to hit the 10 beats of the Ballion, or whatever they call it, I don't really care. And Dean reverses it and tries to hit it on Sheamus. And Sheamus just goes off on him like he just insulted his whole family and everything he stood for. He starts throwing him into the barricades and slamming his head on the announce table. And then Dean Ambrose comes back and he's like, oh no, I'm not about to just let you beat my ass like this. And he starts slamming him on the announce table, throws him into the stairs and the ring pole. And Sheamus started bleeding. Like, he donned the proverbial crimson mask and he started bleeding. So Dean Ambrose is going to put him through the announce table, and Kevin Owens comes up from behind him and attacks him once again. So pretty much this match was a double count out. It was alright, you know, whatever. The ending pretty much was the main parts of it. So yeah. And then they go to commercial and come back. Renee Young's backstage by the trainer's office trying to give them an update on Dean Ambrose after he takes the beating from Kevin Owens. And he comes busting out the door like, can you feel his pulse? I'm still alive. I'm still breathing, which is bad news for Kevin Owens. So he's not going anywhere no time soon. No matter how many times Kevin Owens beats him down, he's going to get right back up. So then they cut to Vince and Steph walking backstage, and then they come up to Paul Heyman. Ah, yes, Paul Heyman's back. And they're talking about, you know, Brock Lesnar being in the Royal Rumble match, and Paul Heyman's not really feeling it. He says Brock's a prize fighter and doesn't want to be in a Rumble. He just wants to be in the main event of WrestleMania, so that whoever wins the Rumble can go on to face him. Yeah, Vince and Steph don't really like that idea, but they decided to take it into the office and talk about it in private. So yeah, they go into the office and then it goes back to commercial. And the second match of the night is Stardust versus Titus ONeil. We seen this match last week, and it was the same boring match that I didn't care about last week. Pretty much Titus ONeil won, and Stardust attacked him on the outside of the ring. Yeah, whatever. Don't really care. So next was Chris Jericho's highlight reel, and his guests were the New Day. So, he comes out doing his normal gimmick, Raw is Jericho. And, the New Day comes out because he doesn't announce them. They were like, well, you're taking too long to announce your guests, so we're just going to come out and be here anyway. And, Chris Jericho calls them Rudy Tooty Booties again. And, they go back and forth, slinging insults or whatever. The New Day pretty much saying that they were the best tag team and, whatever. And then the Usos come out. They're like, well, if you're the best tag team, why didn't you win the Slammies? Why are we holding the Slammies and you're not? And, so they going back and forth. And Chris Jericho's like, well, why don't we make this a match? It's the Usos versus the New Day. It's only Kofi and Big E with Xavier on the outside. And then it's the Usos with Chris Jericho on the outside. So, yes, the Usos versus the New Day again. I'm getting tired of seeing this match. They are fighting way too much. Like, do they not have any other tag teams on the roster that they can put out there? Or are we just going to have to see the New Day versus the Usos every week? Kind of like how they did with the Dudleys for a while. It's like they don't want to switch it up. It's always the same thing over and over and over. And it gets really annoying. So, yeah, seen this match too many times. Same little stick, Usos, smacks and kicks, and New Day being New Day. Hilarious. I love the New Day. I mean, I love both of these teams, but I'm getting tired of seeing them fight so much. It's getting really old. But, yeah, near the end of the match, Chris Jericho picked up Xavier Woods' trombone that he had been playing the whole entire match. And I guess Chris Jericho eventually got tired of it, and he broke it in half and threw it at Xavier. And Xavier was like crying and yelling like, why did you do this? Like he just lost his girlfriend for 20 years or something. He was like distraught that his trombone got broken in half. It was really hilarious. He really sold that. So, yeah, the Usos picked up the win off of that distraction, and yeah, the Usos win the match. So, they finally addressed that John Cena had to have surgery on his torn rotator cuff, and he had successful surgery, and the very next day, Cena's rehabbing. Of course Cena's rehabbing the very next day after a major surgery. It's Cena. He's always going to do that. Of course he is. It's Cena. He'll be back probably 4 to 5 months instead of 6 to 9. We already know him and his recovery times. They project a recovery time, and he excels it, and he's back way before then. So we'll see Cena back sooner than later. So they cut back to Stephanie and Paul Heyman in the office talking about Brock Lesnar. And Paul Heyman still pushing the fact that Brock wants to be at WrestleMania and not the Royal Rumble. And Stephanie says, well, you tell him Vince McMahon owns his contract and he's going to be in the Royal Rumble match. So Paul Heyman eventually gives in and is like, yeah, there's nothing I can do about it. And he walks away. So they cut back to the ring and JBL's in the ring. And he's there to announce the first inductee into the 2016 WWE Hall of Fame. And it's Sting, the icon, the vigilante, Sting. Sting is the first inductee into the WWE Hall of Fame, and I'm really excited about that. I guess you could say he had a lackluster run in WWE, because, he got hurt in his match against Seth Rollins, and he hasn't won a match. He lost to Seth, and he lost to Triple H at WrestleMania. But, he deserves it. I'm not really going to argue the fact that he deserves to get in. It's Sting. Come on. It's Sting. Of course Sting's getting in the Hall of Fame. So the next match, the Wyatt family comes back out, and then the social outcasts come out, and they are hyped up and ready to go. They come down the ramp like they're about to destroy the Wyatt family. They are hyped. They are ready. They are looking for a fight. They are picking a fight with the Wyatt family. And it's so funny because Bo Dallas began to talk and Bray Wyatt just looked at him like, if you don't go somewhere, little brother, before I destroy you. It was just so funny and awkward. I guess that's their gimmick. They're supposed to be awkward or whatever. the Wyatts started dominating. Pretty much it was Braun Strowman destroying them. And then Ryback came out, and because the Wyatts attacked him last week, so Ryback came out and he had a big problem with them, so he started beating them down and knocking them out the ring, and the social outcasts were helping him. It was really, really weird. But yeah, they knocked the Wyatts out the ring, and we're looking at them, so I don't know where this is supposed to go, but yeah, that happened. So, apparently on Smackdown, Kaliisto beat Del Rio in a non-title match, so tonight he gets a U.S. Championship match. So he's backstage talking about what the U.S. Championship means to him, about him getting opportunities in this country, and how John Cena has made the title relevant, and people like Del Rio don't want to give people a chance, so he believes he's going to take the title from Del Rio. So that's the next match. Kaliisto versus Alberto Del Rio for the United States Championship. So Del Rio comes out, and he is just fired up. Like, I'm the one that injured John Cena. That was me. Like, he's taking credit for Cena having to have surgery and all this other jazz. And he's like, yeah, now I'm going to injure Kaliisto since he thinks he's going to take my title. And Kaliisto comes out, pretty good pop from the crowd. The crowd wasn't really that good tonight, but they popped for Kaliisto. So Kaliisto comes out, and they have a pretty good match. Kaliisto in his high spots, and Del Rio kicking the hell out of him. I swear, man, Del Rio's gonna kill somebody in the ring one day. All those damn kicks that he does, it's just insane. But yeah, a bunch of near falls. It was a really good match. Probably my favorite match of the night. Yep. Without question, my favorite match of the night was this one. Yeah, Del Rio was aggressive for most of the match, but Kaliisto was gaining offense. Every time he did, though, Del Rio would shut him down and, gain the upper hand on him. But Kaliisto never gave up. And guess what? Kaliisto actually wins the match and is your new United States champion. Yes, Kaliisto not only once, but twice defeats Alberto Del Rio and becomes the new United States champion. So they're finally giving one of these guys that's from NXT, other than Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens probably the only one of the recent call-ups. Well, Charlotte, of course, she's Divas champion, but whatever. But somebody like Kaliisto, who beat Ryback in the WWE Championship tournament for when the title was vacated, they're giving him a push because Sin Cara's, I guess he's going to be out for a while with his shoulder injury. So they're giving Kaliisto a push. They put the title on Kaliisto. It's something different, and I like it. I like Kaliisto. He's high flying. He's really athletic. I really like him in the ring. He's a really good worker. So I'm actually happy that he won this. So yeah, Kaliisto's your new United States champion. Let's see. Oh, Charlotte is backstage talking about the attack she delivered to Becky Lynch last week. And she's pretty much saying, well, Paige told me before there's no room for sentiment. None. At all. I don't care. I'm going to do whatever I have to do to keep my title. And that's just the way it's going to be. Becky Lynch should have known. She can't mess with me. I'm in a different class. I'm genetically superior. There's nothing she can do. So, Brie Bella comes out and she's going to face Charlotte. So, Charlotte comes out after Brie Bella gets out, and she's making her entrance. She does a little flip, and then she gets in the ring and hits the split. As she's hitting the split, though, Becky Lynch comes in and attacks her. and she is going crazy on her. Like, she is tired of the BS that Charlotte is putting her through and all the cheating and finally turning on her last week, and she just goes crazy on her. She tries to put her in the disarmor and all this other stuff. She is going crazy. They had to separate her, and Becky Lynch was fired up. She finally lost it, and she was fired up on Charlotte. The match with Brie Bella didn't even happen because Charlotte was like, oh, I'm hurt, and they left the ring or whatever. And then Becky Lynch is backstage talking to JoJo, and she was like, yeah, well, my emotions are exactly where they need to be. I'm tired. I'm on my own now, so I got to do what I got to do, and I'm going to take that title from Charlotte, and I'm going to beat her ass. This is the Becky Lynch that I love to see. I hope she takes the title off of Charlotte, honestly. I mean, she never won the NXT Women's Championship, but she's a really good wrestler, and I really hope this leads to her winning the title. So, yeah. So, now it's time for the main event. The 1 versus all match. Roman Reigns versus, I guess, a third of the roster. So, Vince and Steph comes out, and they're really happy. And, man, Roman's already in the ring. He did his little entrance or whatever. And out comes Sheamus, Del Rio, Kevin Owens, the Wyatts, New Day, Stardust, and the Ascension, and Tyler Breeze. So they all come down to the ring. Vince is leading them, and they go sit by the announce table. And Vince tells Kevin Owens that he's going to start off the match. So it was pretty much just Kevin Owens versus Roman Reigns with all these guys on the outside of the ring in like one corner. It was really weird. They were just cheering on Kevin Owens and whatever. So, for the most part, it started off Roman Reigns had the advantage, and then Kevin Owens took over for most of the match. Kevin Owens doing outside dives on him and, just dominating him. Then they started to go back and forth towards the end, and then there goes the interference, of course, because it looked like Roman was about to beat him. So Vince tells everybody to get in the ring and start beating Roman Reigns down, and he gets kicked by Del Rio. He gets a bro kick from Sheamus and all this other stuff. And then Brock Lesnar's music hits. The Beast. The man who ended The Undertaker's undefeated streak in that very building. Brock Lesnar. He comes out and he is on fire. He comes out. The crowd is hyped up for Brock. Of course, they love seeing Brock. Brock gets in that ring, and it's Suplex City all over again. He is suplexing everybody. Del Rio, Sheamus, all of them. New Day went to Suplex City. And he clears out that whole entire ring. Everybody's gone. And then he goes up to Roman Reigns and, picks him up or whatever. And then he delivers an F5 to Roman Reigns. Pretty much stating he's going to be in the Royal Rumble match because he has no choice, but he's saying that he's going to dominate the match. So, yeah, Brock Lesnar leaves everybody laying out on the ring and in the ring and wherever they happen to land. And, yeah, he leaves out and Roman's looking at him from the mat like, you son of a... tired of you. So, yeah, Brock's going to be in a Royal Rumble match, and we'll see what Roman Reigns is going to do, if he's going to be able to keep his title or not. But, yeah, that's pretty much how Raw went. I'll probably give Raw B-. I mean, it wasn't that great. A bunch of, once again, boring matches I didn't care about. But a couple high spots again. That's what Raw has turned into nowadays. It's a little bit of good things and a lot of why am I watching this? Why am I watching this? But yeah, we'll see. Hopefully the next 2 Raws before the Royal Rumble will be pretty good, and hopefully they build up this match the right way. And yeah, so we'll just see. So thank you guys for watching, and if you guys like the video, give it a like. If you're new to the channel, please give me a subscribe if you want. Leave comments down in the comment section below. You can follow me on Twitter at GeneTheMan94. You can follow the podcast at Botch Squad Pod on Twitter. And yeah, we'll be back with some more videos. Thank you guys for watching. Peace.